Hi, and thanks for tuning in today. Does the thought of receiving gifts for and giving gifts to your autistic child cause you to feel heightened emotions and, frankly, break out in a cold sweat? From the toys that are immediately set aside by your child because they never had any interest in them, to the inevitable, but I wanted something different. The meltdowns, the overwhelm, it can cause the holidays sometimes to feel like a lot more stress than sparkle. So today, we're going to dive into some real-world strategies to make holiday gift giving a little easier for you and a lot more joyful for your child. Before we jump in, if you're new here, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing. And if you like the video, if you hit the like button down below. Good, let's get started. We want to rethink holiday gift giving. Let's start with the unwanted or ignored gifts. You know the ones I'm talking about. A well-meaning relative gets them a trendy toy or the it toy, but your child couldn't care less. Or worse, it's something they actively dislike and are willing to tell everyone that. And now you're stuck mediating between an offended grandma and an honest and disappointed kid. The fix is to be specific. And I mean painfully specific. Create a wish list with links and photos and notes. And don't just say they like dinosaurs. Say they only like realistic dinosaurs, preferably a T-Rex with sharp teeth and no cartoony faces allowed. The more detailed that you are, the fewer awkward moments you might have to navigate. Also remember that not every gift has to be a toy. One family told me that they let relatives know that their child would much rather have an experience, like a trip to the zoo or a gift card to their favorite restaurant. It's thoughtful, it's practical, and it doesn't end up in the donation bin by January. One strategy that we used, which I'll admit it's a little odd, but if it helps somebody, I'll share it here anyway, is we regifted, and by that I don't mean to other people. I mean regifted to our child the same toys he wasn't interested in last year. We put them on a shelf, we took them down again, rewrapped them. He could participate in the opening and the shredding of the paper, which he really liked, and it made everybody else feel good that he was participating in opening gifts. And at the same time, he set them aside just like he did last year, but there was no further waste. So that may work for you too. In addition to the problem of unwanted or unappreciated toys, there is the pressure to perform. One autistic adult told me that they'd rather never open a gift in front of anyone ever again because the stress of looking grateful outweighed their actual joy. If that sounds like your child, let them open gifts privately. Leave them under a tree or whatever your gift-giving custom is, and give them the option to take it to their room. You'll still see their joy later, minus the am I clapping loud enough anxiety. Next, let's talk about managing gift expectations. The epic wish lists. 30 items ranging from $500 Lego sets to, I don't know, a pony. You love their enthusiasm, but you also love your budget. So how do you manage? Well, one smart approach is to categorize gifts. Take pictures of everything they asked for and sort them into big, medium, and small categories. Then you can have your child pick one from each group. This way they feel involved, but you get to set clear boundaries. It's like saying you can't have all the ice cream, but you can choose your favorite flavor. They get to feel in control, and you get to set boundaries. Does that mean they'll never be disappointed on Christmas morning or whatever holiday you're celebrating? Of course not. They could experience disappointment, but this approach could help them process that disappointment faster. And also, it helps you feel like you've done the best you can. If even that feels overwhelming, focus on the one gift they want most. If they've been talking about a specific train set for months or some gaming software or an article of clothing, make that the centerpiece. When you nail the most important gift, it can reduce the emphasis on the other things and give them some big joy to focus on. That can help a lot. And I want to talk about the impact of surprises. Some kids love them, but for others, surprises are just added stress. One parent shared to me that they gave their child a list of exactly what they'll receive ahead of time. The child even gets to decide what order to open the presents in. It's such a simple tweak, but it can turn the day from stressful to smooth. That might remove some of the joy for you. You might think that surprising your children is something that was a joyful part of your holiday history. But we have to take their needs into account, what would suit them best, and what in the end would help us all feeling the most joy. That leads into the next topic, which is making Christmas morning or whatever holiday you're celebrating, making it work for everyone. If you have multiple kids, you know that Christmas morning or whatever holiday, can feel like a circus. Everyone's yelling, papers flying, and your autistic child is either sitting there overwhelmed and ready to implode, or maybe they're the one that's running around and creating the circus atmosphere. Here's a simple idea. Flip the script. If saving the big gift for last is causing stress and chaos, let your autistic child open their favorite gift first. For example, if they've been counting down the days till they get to have that special Lego set, let them dive into it right away. This lowers their anxiety and might help them enjoy the rest of the day. Another lifesaver? Even though you want the family to be together, you can reduce chaos by allowing your child to escape to a quiet place if needed. Think of it as their holiday recharge station. Finally, let's talk about navigating disappointment and emotions. Even with all your careful planning, there might still be some moments of disappointment. Maybe they didn't get something on their list, or the excitement of the day is just too much. It happens. When it does, focus on empathy. Say something like, "I see you're upset. It's hard when you don't get everything you want, and that's okay." Try to avoid the "you should be grateful" lecture. It's well-meaning and you're trying to help your child learn an important lesson, but in the moment when they're having those emotions, it's not going to land when those emotions are already high. Acknowledging and validating their feelings does help them feel heard, and it makes it less likely they'll spiral into a full-blown meltdown. And don't forget the importance of prepping siblings or other relatives who might be around. Let them know that your child might react differently to the opening of a toy. And it's not about being ungrateful. Let them know that your child might need a little time away. Again, it's just how they process things. You might say, if they need space, let's give it to them. It's not personal. It's just what they need right now. That heads off a lot of misunderstandings. Finally, when emotions run high, you can gently redirect. Say something to your child like, "I noticed how much you loved that gift when you opened it. Let's go play with it a little in your room or in a quiet space." It shifts the focus back to the joy without dismissing their feelings. That said, you know your child best. That approach would annoy some children, so you need to use your best instincts to know whether that would calm them or inflame the situation. Here's the bottom line. Holiday gifting doesn't have to be perfect to be magical. By being specific, managing expectations, creating calmer, more intentional experience, you can make the holidays a little easier for your child and a lot more joyful for everyone. And hey, you're doing an amazing job advocating for your child. If you found strategies that work, I'd love to hear them. Let me know in the comments below. Share your tips, because I'm sure other parents want to hear them as well. And if this was helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let's keep navigating this wild parenting ride together. Happy holidays.